What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at the making of some DnB drums. This is for a collaboration I did with a guy called Kable, aka Kable, and he is an absolute beast at electronic music, and so he and I collaborated on this drum step track, and I did the drums, among other things, so I'm going to show you what I did. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently than I do my normal making of videos. I'm actually going to build it up bit by bit to show you all the elements that went into it. Then I'll show you some individual things that I did on each thing. So here goes. So that is the full drum loop, and when I finished it, I just rendered out every single stem and sent them over to him, and he worked his magic. So a few things to note. So I started off with this loop, or actually this, and this is just some samples that I've had kind of living on my hard drive in my ever-growing sample collection. And I just popped them into Ultra Beat so I could play them out on my MIDI keyboard and then played in a pattern. So just, and what this is the kick right here is two kick samples layered on top of each other. This one and this one. So you get the kind of boom of this one and the punch of this one. So together you get a much more exciting kick. And then the snare, which is dubstep snare, and I have the high end rolled off on the dubstep snare because without the high cut, that'll chop your head off. So that sounds a lot more drums and bass-ish and is not so grating on the ears. And then also have it compressed, pretty good there. Same with the kick, it's compressed somewhat, so you get, and then the little, it's just an 808 snare with the velocity adjusted, so the first three notes are around 38, and then the next three notes get more and more velocity to them until it's at its peak. So played that pattern on the MIDI keyboard, then duplicated out the MIDI and messed around with another sample here, which is actually a built-in kit from Ultra Beat, with a kick and a snare layered to make one kick. And then, so that's this right here. And then two snares layered. Oops. A snare and a clap, so you get add in with our other elements. And one thing you want to be very careful about when layering drums, especially low-end elements, is phase. If basically you have the waveforms like this, and if they're out of phase, you'll get cancellation, and you'll actually completely defeat your purpose because you're trying to make it sound more thick, but you'll actually end up making it sound thinner if the stuff is out of phase. So a quick way to test that is just pull up a gain plugin or whatever. All DAWs have these, and then just flip the phase. So let me show you what happens when I turn it out of phase. Hear what happened to the kick, how it got thinner when I made it out of phase. And then also have this, compress the snot out of it. And then after that, we add the Big Beat Remix Kit, another built-in Ultra Beat kit. You might have noticed when I added this in while just looping it, that it added quite a bit of tone to the snare and then a bit more beef to the kick. So that's three, whoops, dang. Three different snare parts layered, so you get, and all together now, so far we got, you hear how much that's doing to add the drums and bassy feel that you expect. And then, so that's it for the kick and snare. And then on percussion, I have a bunch of stuff here. Most of it I played with a MIDI keyboard. Just a simple ride, then a shaker track, and real quick, just listen how the little bongo thing dances around this kick and snare. That one little element goes a lot into adding the groove. And then another shaker. So I have 2 different shaker tracks, left and right, to add some width. And then, so far the percussion is this. And you can see everything all the percussion is panned out, so you get some nice width there. And then lastly this, which is yet another built-in Ultrabeat kit, which adds quite a lot to the energy of it, and that's just up the middle, so without it, it goes a pretty long way in adding a ton of energy to the track. So that's about it, and yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this, found it helpful to your own productions. If you want to learn to do drum and bass, hopefully this gives you some ideas, stuff to try, and I will see you guys next week. Peace out.